This video is exclusively for CA Final November 2024 examination students. This is about one of the revolutionary preparation strategy that you can follow where the confidence levels that you are going to gain is extremely high. And this strategy is slightly criticized by many also at the same time. But 90% of the cases, this strategy will damn sure work. Not even 90, I can say 100 or 100. The only thing that it requires from you is the trust. If you trust upon this strategy, you definitely, you finish the subject preparation much faster. Like now, some students are confusing whether to go with a single group in CA final number or still, go with both the groups. Like especially there are students who have exemption in one of the paper, only left with 5 papers. They are mainly confused. So should they go with both the groups or one group? This is the dilemma which they have. Honestly, 5 subjects, right now the time left is, assuming August 1st onwards, you calculate 3 months more is there, which is equal to 75 days, 15 days take off for the breaks. 750 hours of time is there. 5 subjects, on an average for each subject, 150 hours of time is there. And the subject, the strategy which I'm going to tell is subject-wise revision strategy. What is the subject-wise revision strategy? For example, you take FR. By the way, this strategy is applicable only for those who are either doing complete self-preparation or those who already went with coaching, completed coaching classes, mostly, predominantly, maybe as a whole 1 or 2 subjects might be pending, but predominantly coaching classes for 3 subjects out of 5 is completed. So these people also can follow this strategy. Means you are left only with revision, nothing else. Or those who are following self-preparation, especially those who are following start from scratch method, like you are first time writing number attempt, and I think if at all you think you are just like a fresher, and from August 1st, if at all you start with this strategy, believe me, you will clear at least one group. If you start from scratch, assuming you're a first timer, have no exposure to the subject, no exposure at all, even if you follow this for one group, you will clear for the number exams. Suppose if it is both the group student, the precondition is you must have already completed coaching or you must have already completed preparation. You must have completed at least preparation. In preparation in the sense means you should have a decent knowledge of the entire syllabus. A decent knowledge, may not be expert level so that you can go and write the exam. Now you only have to do a proper revision. One point I want to highlight here is number of times, how many number of times you revised is not at all a big deal. It's not relevant. What is the level of intensity with which you revise? That is important. When you're revising the subject now, with what intensity you're revising, that intensity plays a role. Now, suppose you take FR. For example, you take FR. What I did in my CA final preparation is I went with subject-wise revision strategy only. You know what? May 2014 was my first attempt. So I has got leave from the February first week. January ending we got the leave. So February onwards we have some 3.5 months time is what we are left with, because that's an election year. So the exams were conducted in the May 4th week. So almost 3 months, 3 weeks time is what we have. But I didn't went for any coaching. I didn't take any coaching, and moreover, just like you, I'm also lazy. Just like you, I also procrastinate things. As a student, whatever mistakes that you do, the same mistakes we did. Nothing special. Just that you wasted time with mobile, Instagram, all that. We wasted time hanging out with the people. That's the only difference. But the time wastage is common. Exactly 2 to 2.5 months before the time I realized that, no, this attempt at any cost I should qualify because I have so many commitments. I have to grow up in life. So exactly, this is what, exactly, every one of us, it will hint that your goals, your objectives, like your whatever, your vision, everything comes exactly 2 months before exam. Because that is when the worry, the fear of failure will start exactly. 2.5 months before the fear of failure will start. And I am left with 8 subjects. What should I do? And those days, the papers were quite easy. Not like today, the May 24, November 23, like in the past 6-7 attempts, the papers are really good, really tough. That time papers were very easy. And that time, coaching standards were not at all good. Coaching is very average, mediocre coaching only. Resources are also not available. Like you have no question banks, marathon videos, so many resources you have. But that time we don't even know what exactly to refer. We know that yes, ICA book is there. That is comprehensive thing. So we generally don't study ICA book. We take some author's book. That's it. What I did, I took FR. Some 9 to 11 days. I'm not sure exactly. Some 10 to 11 days it took. Every day I studied 8 to 9 hours productively. Only FR. 9 to 10 days. 10 to 11 days I can say. 10 to 11 days I only took FR and studied. How much? 2/3 syllabus I covered. And 10 days over. Remember, I have 2.5 months time, roughly 2.5 months time. Then I took AFM. That time we call it as SFM. Some 8 days I spent. Daily some 8 to 9 hours I studied. 2/3 syllabus I completed. 2/3 in every subject, 2/3. Now what I recommend every student is 3/4 syllabus. 2/3 means 65%. 3/4 means 75% of the syllabus. Now what I recommend is 3/4 syllabus you have to study, not 2/3. Then we have law. We have law. Same, 2/3 I completed. Then audit. Audit is something you may not believe me. I hardly studied for 5 to 6 days audit. Throughout my CA final, I have not studied more than that, 5 to 6 days. Because that time audit 4 chapters, you study well, you go and qualify. Professional ethics alone took me 2 days to memorize everything. Took me close to 20 hours to memorize everything. To memorize. And lucky, from the same professional ethics, some 20 marks I got in the exam. I wrote each clause by clause, number by number, everything accurately I wrote. And remaining some 3 or 4 chapters I studied for the 3 days with decent clarity. Went to the exam, attempted for 65 to 70 marks, and I got 59 in audit. I got 59 in audit with 65 to 70 marks. I told you, papers then were very easy. And because I am little smart that time, getting it, I could easily crack with minimum time, with minimum effort, which it may not work out if at all I am in this particular paper pattern. If at all I have to write in this pattern, it will not work out. That's why this time it is 3 months. Minimum time that is required for both the groups is minimum 3 times. If at all you have to apply my strategy, minimum time. That too every day 10 hours. Every day 10 hours. So like you take FR some 8 to 10 or 12 days. You take FMM some 8, 10, 12 days. Audit 10 days approximately. And remaining 2 subject 10 plus 10. But since you are having 75 days, I request you to have 15 days. For each subject, you spend 15 days. So 15 into 5, 75 days. Believe me, you will clear. One main problem here you might get is, it's not that you really get, you feel that you will get. Don't we feel bored of the same subject we study every day? Never. If you are learning really that subject, you will never feel bored. If you are reading without understanding anything, without understanding the context, without understanding implications, without really understanding as a whole subject, then you will feel definitely bored of it. Or, most of the novels, right? Novels, like, there is a novel called Do It Today. There is a novel called Do It Today. In that novel, the writer, the author clearly tells, if you take one book to read, finish that entire book, then only go for the another book. Don't read 3 or 4 books simultaneously. Same way, when you're watching web series, when you're watching any big movie, which consists of 2 or 3 parts, for example, our web series is best example. If you take up one web series and finish it fully and go to the next web series, generally that web series which you finished at a stretch fully, you will have very good command over all the scenes, dialogues, everything. Same happens with subject also. Generally, if at all you do a parallel study, let us assume you are doing a parallel study of FR, AFM audit. Let us assume you are a group 1 student only. You are studying parallelly. Some FR 4 hours, SFM 4 hours, some audit 3 or maybe 2 hours you allocated every day. Like this, if you allocate, some FR takes 40 days, SFM take 30 days or 30 days to 35 days, audit may take 30 days. So 90 hours, and here it is like 140 hours, here it is 180 hours. So approximately this much time it takes. But if you take only FR and focus on next 15 days daily 8 hours, you can save minimum 20% of the time. Because what happens is, if I take only single subject, the flow you get on third day. The third day, first day you started. So let us assume tomorrow you want to start only with FR next 10 days. First day, full day you are solving FR. As long as you are understanding the subject thoroughly, without any confusion, without any vagueness, you are understanding really, you are learning something really. Third day onwards, you will get more excitement. Acha, let's do one thing. Sir, how can I believe this? I spoke to many, like some students may say, this may not work out, you will feel bored. First try, Do with FR. Suppose you are a group 2 student, take DT. 3 days. Next 3 days you try. After listening to this video, next 3 days, sit only on DT. Daily 8 to 9 hours minimum you have to spend. Daily 8 to 9 hours, sit only on DT. By the time you start the third day, the way you get attention on the subject is something different altogether. And the kind of command, the kind of the grip that you will have on the subject on 12th day is unmatchable even with a guy who did 3 revisions. That's the power of this strategy. This is highly reliable strategy which very few students explore. Believe me, don't even apply this entire 75 days. Don't even follow this. Follow for one subject. 3 to 4 days if you follow for one subject itself, you will understand how far this works for you. If possible, try to follow 10 to 12 days only one subject. Take up one subject, try to finish next to 10 to 12 days. I'm telling you, third day onwards, you will not feel bored. Maybe first and second day, since it is different from what you really follow earlier, you might feel little doubts about yourself. You'll be doubting yourself. Third or fourth day onwards, you will change your perception. Comment in this video, comment below this video on third or fourth day after watching this video. Like you watched this video today, for example, tomorrow onwards you're implementing this strategy. After 3 days of taking up one subject, 3 days only that subject you implemented. Fourth day you come back and comment, how do you feel on that subject? Believe me, the way you are going to get command, the grip, the confidence, everything changes to a whole different level. Now the question is, sir, should I go with single group or both the groups? As the time is plenty right now, if at all you already took coaching under only revision. Revision means a proper revision is pending. You really have sufficient time. Sir, I'm a first timer, sir. No coaching also. Self-preparation, sir. What should I do? You go with single group only. Don't try. Don't experiment. Go with only single group. So where you allocate 20 days time for each subject minimum. 20 days time. With the breaks, it will be 24 days. For every 5-6 days, 1 day break, right? So 24 days. 3 subjects, 3 months. You have a solid time. Believe in this process. 3 days you implement this. 3-4 days you implement this strategy. Subject-wise preparation strategy. Take up one subject, 10 days. At a stretch, 10 to 12 days. Finish that. Then next, take up another subject. Finish that. Now again you might feel, sir, when should I revise? Arey man, this approach is such that you remember for a long term because you have got like a confidence which many others won't get. Day before exam, once again you just revisit this. Enough. You are writing mock test. Before mock test, no, 2 days you once again you revise. That's enough. So now let us call this as a first revision. Next to 12-13 days, this is a first preparation come revision. Let us assume. Then before writing mock exam, 2 days. Again sit on the subject. It's a second revision. Day before exam is third revision. Don't consider day before exam revision as a separate revision. It's a revision itself. It's a revision. And generally, day before exam, the intensity with which we revise, the intensity, your pulse rate, your attention rate, your focus, concentration, the intensity of all these things is altogether different. It is not even before a mock exam 2 days, you will not be revising with that level of intensity before real exam. So day before exam, your mind works in a different way. Don't worry about it. So that's a third revision. That's how I call revisions. Mock test unit before the 2 days. You actually personally, at my time, I didn't even wrote mock test. See, point is very simple. For us, there is nobody to guide. No YouTube, nothing, nobody to guide. For you, we are guiding you. So I hope understood this strategy, right? If at all any of you are already following this strategy, you please share your experience in the below comments so that others will understand. CA final students only this strategy they have to follow. For CA Inter, if at all you are doing self-preparation in CA Inter, you also can absolutely follow. If at all any of the CA Inter student is watching this video, you also can follow this. But this strategy will not apply if at all you are listening to classes now and also simultaneously reading. This strategy may not work for you. Getting it? Since you are listening classes of 1 or 2 subjects every day, so since you will not have full day to dedicate only to a particular subject, this strategy may not apply for you, may not be suitable for you because you have not yet completed a proper preparation fully. But because those who are writing for November, predominantly 70 to 80% of the students would have already completed coaching or would have already gone through the subject at least once. Now only they have to do is a proper preparation come revision. Second revision before mock exam. Third revision day before actual exam. All the very best.